I was having a conversation with my youngest son, and we were talking about the conditions of people that look like us, everything that's going on right now. And I was telling my son that we have been given a prescription drug called religion, right? And because of that, we're in the condition, the psychological state that we're in right now. So, I guess, what do I mean by that? I want you to think about something for a minute. The majority of our leader, or our leadership, comes out of some religious structure. We can go back, to, let's just say, Minister Malcolm X. He was part of the Nation of Islam. Then you have his dad, Earl, was a Baptist minister. Then you have Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King. Then you have Reverend Ralph Abernathy. Then you have Reverend Adam Clayton Powell. You have the Nation of Islam calls him Prophet Elijah Muhammad. Then you have Minister Farrakhan. Then you have Minister Khalid Muhammad. You have Rabbi Cherry. You have Rabbi Matthews. You have Rabbi Ford. You have Clarence 13X Smith. So you have a number of individuals coming out of these organized bodies, and they take on leadership roles and they lead individuals. The interesting thing is, this is a 1611 edition of the King James Version. And most of us go to church, go to the mosque, go to the temple in no particular order, to hear the word from one of these religious leaders. I know I left out Reverend Al Sharpton, Reverend Jesse Jackson, so it goes on. These are all the people that come to us. So this is considered the manna, the bread, the word of God, right? But this is the interesting thing about this. You had councils. You had councils, the first council of Nicaea. You had the Council of Constantinople. You had the Council of Laodicea. You had the Council of Ephesus. You had the Second Council of Constantinople. You had the Second Council of Nicaea. You had the Council of, I think it's called Chalcedon, no particular order, but within that, what I find interesting was you had an individual named Constantine, and Constantine appears in the first one in 325 AD, and what he was able to do was, he was able to merge Christianity and paganism, and that means something, because you oftentimes hear religious leaders quote Ephesians, where they talk about, I think it's Ephesians 6. They always quote Ephesians saying that we do not war against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, dark forces, and spiritual wickedness. So the wickedness comes in this form. So here you are, this is supposed to be the bread. Then you have individuals in those councils that took the bread and they began to slice it up. They began to slice your bread up. So you're not getting the full loaf. And then the book of Joshua is missing out of here, and there's several other books. So you have individuals, speaking to congregations and speaking to the people, but you're not getting your full loaf of bread, right? So within the King James Version, what was taken out? Well, you have the Apocrypha. That was removed. So that's a slice that was moved. Some important stuff is in there. Then you get the forbidden books of the New Testament, right? So these books are taken out, right? So you have corruption within the scripts. And then you could go into who everybody deals with. You're dealing with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, within the Jewish sect. And the Pharisees were the ones that was speaking to Yeshua. Some people don't even believe that Yeshua existed, so that's for another time. But here they are talking to him, and they was wondering, like, where are you getting this doctrine from? Because these are the ones that were in association with government. These were the ones that were scribing and penning everything. So this is our prescription drug, religion, and this is what has us all off. And again, one of the most beautiful stories that I ever read, is the story of Samuel. And you're not supposed to have any leaders, but then there's a book of Judges that comes before Samuel, First Samuel that is. Samuel's 8:4-8, where it talks about turning your back on the Most High God and choosing a king like and we were never supposed to have a king but the Most High God. That's the one that's supposed to lord over us. And then you can see that we never had any kings. If you go into the book of Judges and you go to chapter 21, I believe 24-25, and it talks about us not even having a king. So this isn't something that we're supposed to have. So these leaders who are dealing with this fractured information, these slices of bread, are leading you we shall overcome, no justice, no peace, cutting deals with corporations and things like that. So this is why we're in the position that we're in. And there's just no way around that. Prayerfully, through work, prayerfully, we'll come out of this. Which we will, because, the Most High God never loses. So the appearance is, the devil, again, a construct, is winning. But at the end of the day, the Most High God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, Moses, Yeshua, who you call Jesus, ultimately prevails. And that's what we have to understand. So just hold tight.